I've just bought the cheapest electric car in the UK.
Sold on approval.
And with the Copart fees, I paid only... I bought this Polestar from Copart as a category N write-off, and I got it for a really cheap price. It's been smashed in the front and all the airbags are blown. Buying crash damaged cars is always a risk. So in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly how much I paid for it and whether this turned out to be a bargain or a massive mistake. Let's get straight into it. And in this video, we're going to complete this car and get this car back on the road. But before we start actually working on the car, let's take a look at the damage. This car actually came with a front bumper, but it was broken. So we just ripped it off to see what the damage is behind it. And straight away, even though it might not look bad, it's bad. Because firstly, the shutter. You see that? The top shutter is broken. Bottom shutter is broken. That's at least an extra £400–500 we just didn't account for. Next, the headlight. We knew the headlight was broken, so there's nothing new here. We need a new headlight. They're not cheap, but we'll get onto that later on. But it's not just that. The headlight bracket is broken. We can see here, this main bracket is snapped, so we need a new one. The lower bracket here, which starts from up here, is also broken, so we need another one here. And the washer bottle, I mean, obvious it's broken, but what's interesting about this is on eBay, this goes for about £100 used. But directly from Volvo, this goes for about 50 quid. And that's because parts on these cars are hard to get hold of. So sometimes it's just easier to call up the manufacturer. I mean, Volvo in this case, because Volvo make these cars. And for us, it was just cheaper. And I'm sure it's going to be the same for some of the trims on this car as well. And some of the plastic pieces. And we do need many more parts. I mean, the under tray is damaged. The mud guard we need. And I'm sure once we start stripping this side here, there's going to be more parts that we need. But that's just part of the parcel. And there's always much more damage than the auction photos. Now, let's take a look at the inside. And from the inside, everything is deployed. The curtain airbags, the steering airbag, the dashboard airbag, the seat belts. Quite a few things to replace. Obviously, this car is smashed on the outside and on the inside. And once we completely repair this car, you won't be able to tell unless you do a full car checks. Because with full car checks, you can see the damaged photos if the vehicle has been put for salvage auction. And in most cases, the photos will be there. So there's no hiding from that check. And later on in this video, I'm going to give you a special discount code that'll give you a completely free car history check, which will include the salvage check, finance check, keeper check, stolen check, basically a complete history check. And the spec on this car is almost top spec, but we are missing some things. But what we do have is 360 camera, pilot pack. What else do we have?
Yeah, a bunch of other stuff, but no pan roof.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to put the list on here from full car checks. You could also get a factory spec sheet. The list is there. It is quite long. But what we don't have, unlike the last Polestar we did, we don't have the panoramic sunroof. But yeah, let's get started on the rebuild. We'll take off all the broken bits from the front and we'll start with the air shutters here. We need to strip everything off the front and see if there's more damaged. Is the radiator okay behind it? Is the chassis arm okay? Is anything else damaged? We'll find out once we take off all the broken bits here. So let's go. That's probably the quickest someone has ever taken off an air shutter before. How quick was that? It'll be interesting to see if the radiator is okay. And it looks okay. There's a slight indent here, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's damaged. Because, yeah, looks okay to me, but we'll need to test that later on. Let's see if the lower shutter comes out as quickly as the top shutter did. Alright, nah, this is a bit more respectable. It's got a bolt that's still intact. We've picked up the both shutters for £400. So, it's okay. It's manageable. Let's go. And now the headlight. The bolt on top, we don't really need to unbolt because as you can see, that's broken. It's not connected to the headlight anymore. And the one on the bottom, it's the same situation. It's broken and it's not connected to the headlight, so it's all good. But it's still quite, we still can't pull it out. Wasn't expecting that. Hopefully we didn't damage the ballast. This is the most important part of this headlight. But yeah, should be alright. We've taken off all the broken bits from the front, apart from this washer bottle, and we can see more parts we need. This one here. This bracket here needs to be straight, but it's just doing a little U-turn over here, so we need another one of these brackets. Apart from that, the chassis looks straight, which is good. The chassis arm looks straight as well, also good. And now I'm just taking out the washer bottle, and whilst we wait for all the parts to come in, I'm going to focus on the inside of the car. The first thing I'm going to do is take out the airbag module, which sits just underneath the center console. Once we get to it, we need to send that off to the airbag team and get that reset. Because on the OBD tool, we can see that the crash data is on that airbag module. So if we try to clear the codes, it will not go. Surprisingly though, the car did turn on, but we've done quite a few Volvos and these Polestars, and we need to reset that module before the car does turn on. Okay, the center console is fairly straightforward. We've just got 4 bolts, 2 at the front and another 2 at the back. And just like that, we can see the airbag module. All we need to do now is unbolt the module and it will just come out. And we will need to send this off to the airbag team to get the crash data reset. And now the big one. So the dashboard airbag is deployed. So what we need to do is remove this dashboard and put a new one in. Or we can remove this dashboard and get it repaired, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to put a new one in, and I've managed to get one, a complete airbag kit with the curtain airbags and the seat belt and a new dashboard and the steering airbag for £2,000. It is a lot of money, but parts on these cars are hard to get hold of and they're quite expensive. Okay, let's go. First up is the curtain airbags. I need to also take off this handle because the curtain airbag screw is behind it, and for me to get to that I need some space because as we can see there's not much space here. Okay, we managed to take it off now. The curtain airbag is out now, so we can focus on the dashboard. The first thing we need to do is take off this steering wheel airbag, and I've got a technique. I put a camera just up here, and as you can see here, we can see there's a hook inside of here.
There you go.
This is quite important, the center console. The only way to bring out the dash is to pull the center console back completely because it needs a lot of room over here. We've done that now. Dash is out, and now it's time to put the new dash back into the car. The airbag module is now back with us. It's been reset. There we go. This needs to now go back into the car. It's time for the new dash to go in. And this dashboard has to be the easiest one I've worked on. I mean, there's not much going on. There's one big iPad looking screen in the middle. Apart from that, there's no ambient lighting. There's no like cables going all over the place. And we've changed the steering airbag as well. I'm waiting on the driver's side seat belt and the 2 curtain airbags. Once that's in, we could just patch it all up and we'll be good for the inside. But for now, let's crack on with the front. So I've got an order from Volvo. The first thing is this main headlight bracket, which sits just like this. And this is an old one, as we can see, snapped off here, which connects to the headlight bracket and the wing. So this was no good, and we've got our new one. This headlight ballast is off our old headlight, and if the ballast is okay and there's no damage to it, it should be plug and play. We should be able to put it on our new headlight and it should just work. Otherwise, we'll need a new ballast programmed to the car, but I'm hoping it's not the case here. So when we bought this from Volvo, it comes empty, so it doesn't come with the pump or the sensor, which goes over here. So what we had to do is buy the sensor separately. This bottle was 50 quid and this sensor alone was 40 quid. And it just tells us if the washer fluid is low. So let's put this in. We also need to put in a new mudguard. We're almost complete with the front. I put the mudguard back in, the washer bottle, the under tray, the headlight, the air shutters, and we've tightened everything back up and we should be done with the front. But what's left now is the front bumper. We're going to put everything back onto the front bumper and then back onto the car and we should be done. I've managed to get the same bumper in the same color. So we can see, same color, but there are some problems. As we can see over here, it needs some work. So we need to take it to bodywork and it needs a respray. And this is our old bumper. As we can see here, it's all damaged on this side, but this side is okay. So we can reuse quite a few of the parts. For example, I could use the radar, the camera up here, the sensors all over here, the fog light. So there's quite a few bits that we can use. See on this side, there's nothing that we can reuse. We did a new wiring loom as well, but we've got quite a few of the parts from Volvo. Yeah, without further ado, let's go. And there we go, we've put all the trims back onto the front bumper and now it's time to put the bumper back onto the car. I'm not going to bolt everything back in just yet because I need to make sure that there's no error codes and all the parking sensors are all working fine. And to do that is we're going to just plug the wiring loom back onto the body of the car and then we'll test everything. If everything's okay, then I can bolt it back in. At the moment, the car status is showing as airbag failure, but that's expected because we haven't put back in the curtain airbags just yet. So if that's all we're seeing, that's good, but we need to double check. So I've got my OBD here. We need to check to see what the car is telling us. Our tool actually doesn't even read a Polestar. I have to go in as a Volvo C40 and then it'll read it. So yeah, that's how we get around it. In theory, the SRS, there's two curtain airbags, that should still go off. I've just changed the seatbelt as well, so that should be okay. So we should only have messages for the two curtain airbags, but we've got more. Okay, we've got the first one, left curtain airbag, it's okay. Right curtain airbag, it's okay. And the bottom three is related to a switch, the cut-off enable switch, cut-off enable switch. That's because I haven't plugged in the child seatbelt airbag switch thing. Don't know what they call it, but it's just on the side there. It should be just over there. Have I plugged it in?
No.
Okay, that's good. That is good. And I think those three codes are related to that. So we'll plug that in. We'll put the curtain airbags back in. But for the front bumper, it looks okay. Parking sensors are okay. There's no message to the radar. And the front camera is okay as well because the 360 camera is working. So we know that is okay. Let's see how it looks. How good does that look? And the alignment, it's not bad. I mean, the bonnet is slightly higher up than the bumper, but we can either lift the bumper up slightly here, or we've got some these rubbery things on either side. If you bring them down, this will go down like this, and then it will be perfect. I'm happy with that. Here, it sits well. Obviously, we need to paint the front bumper, but the alignment is actually perfect on this side. What we need to do is change the windscreen and take it to bodywork to paint the front, and then we're good to go. All right guys, we're basically done with this car now. I've changed the windscreen this morning and I'm taking this car for a drive. We're gonna go pick up some parts for a new build that we're working on. And the car itself, it drives smooth. It does need a wheel alignment, but that is expected. Apart from that, it drives perfectly fine. The battery life is also good. I can see now we're on 80% and it's giving us over 200 miles. And with these electric cars, the most important thing is the battery. And when we took this to Volvo, we did do a health check, a battery health check, and it gave us 95%. So that is good. The battery is in good condition, so there's nothing for us to worry there. And the car is driving really well. I mean, I'm not a car review guy, so I don't really know what more to show you guys. But guys, we do have one small issue. There appears to be a bolt inside the dashboard, and we could hear it when we're going on bumps and even when I give it a bang. So it looks like we have some sort of screw or something is loose inside of it, and I need to get that solved. But now the most important question, did we make a profit? Was it really worth it? Now, what we've been waiting for is the price breakdown. Okay, we'll do the cost breakdown now. And with the Copart fees, I paid only £7,000. That's including the fees, that's including the VAT, because this car was VAT applicable. So all in all was just around £7,000. And the parts on these cars were not cheap. So we spent just over £4,000 on all the parts. And most of the parts we had to actually buy from the manufacturer, just because it's very hard to get hold of these parts secondhand. So all in all, it cost us just over £11,000. And if we was to go and sell this car, this should make just under £13,000, with it being a category N as well. But I like this car, we'll probably keep it. So this gives us a profit of £2,000. Obviously we still have some small issues like the dashboard, but I would say just around £2,000 is the profit. So what do you guys think? Is it worth it for £2,000 profit? Let me know in the comments. And I've got a special discount code that will give you a completely free car history check. All you need to do is go on fullcarchecks.co.uk. The link is in the description, and create an account. It takes about a minute. It's completely free, very quick. And then go onto the homepage, enter any registration plate you would like, and click on the full check and enter the discount code IBSFIX100. And that'll give you a completely free car history check. So if your car's been written off, if it's been stolen, keep history, salvage details, finance, it's all included. And again, thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.